Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 3 of the Monday Q&A. So let's get it done. Is fitness really 80% nutrition? I hate when people try to define anything, whether it's fitness or a given sport or bodybuilding or something else, as being percentage based, because the reality is, if you pull the proper nutrition out and you're not hitting roughly the type of calories you want to hit for a given goal, when you're not getting all your micronutrients and fiber, or you're not getting your training or your other lifestyle factors, you're not going to be truly fit, and you're not going to be truly competitive in your sport. These things all matter, and you can't define it as percentages. You have to think of it as different legs on a table, and if you pull one of those legs out, the table might very well topple over. You really have to think of it as these things working in unison, not as percentages. All right, next question. Is there any point in getting a 13 millimeter belt to replace my 10 millimeter when I can only squat 180 kilos and deadlift 220 kilos? And for my American subscribers, that is just under 400 pound squat, just under 500 pound deadlift. And I intend on competing in April in Cheltenham, that's where I live, in the 105 kilo class. I would say for general strength levels, there's no point in you even considering a 13 millimeter at your current strength levels until you can squat 500 pounds, deadlift 600 pounds. I wouldn't even consider the 13, and my numbers are going to be higher than that myself, and I'm still using a 10. I actually own a 13 and a 10. I do not like the 13. When I miss a squat for any reason on my 13 millimeter, it pretty much pulls my intercostal muscles. It causes me problems, and I can't train for a week. And it's just very uncomfortable and awkward. And so me personally, I prefer a 10 millimeter. So it just depends on how these things fit you. But if your strength levels aren't high enough, it's not even worth taking the risk of the 13 being too stiff and too uncomfortable, or spending the extra money when there's no reason for you to even need that level. For the overwhelming majority of people, including a lot of competitive lifters, the 10 millimeter will suffice just fine. So it does come down to personal preference and personal need. All right, last question in this section. Why do you hate bodybuilding? And another person actually responded below that, and I'm going to post what they said and then spin off of that a little bit. He put, seems obvious to me, Jason embraces the traditional Western male gender roles and believes as a male, your goals should be primarily performance-based rather than vanity-based. That is absolutely a massive part of it. And I'm sorry, guys. And again, I've got a lot of friends who are bodybuilders and physique competitors. I've got people who I consider close personal friends who compete in these things. They may not like this, but it is my honest opinion. I see bodybuilding and physique competition as very effeminate. and there's just no way you can paint it any other way, no matter how hardcore you think your training is in the gym. And a lot of these guys train hardcore. At the end of the day, the actual competition is standing up on a stage covered in baby oil, flexing and posing in a beauty pageant in a tiny thong in front of an audience, mostly of other men. I am not homophobic at all. I have gay family members, I have gay friends, but to me, the whole activity of competitive bodybuilding seems almost, other than for those who are openly gay, and a lot are, as really just a means of guys who are still in the closet of expressing their homosexuality without actually coming out of the closet. And to me, that's really kind of how I see the sport. And that is how most of the mainstream public see the sport. I can tell you straight up that if you are a serious bodybuilder and you shave your body and do all the posing and all of these things, most of your coworkers and family think you're secretly gay. And I've been in the industry and around this community long enough to know that that is the general conception that people have. And it's just a very effeminate activity, and it's just not something that I can really personally embrace. I have done competitive bodybuilding, and that is really when I did do it the way that it struck me. And that is the way that I was perceived by other people as a result of me doing it. There were people who like flat out asked me if I was gay. I got hit on by gay men just because they assumed and honestly thought I was gay because I shaved my body and had a tan and, you know, did the bodybuilding thing for the couple of years that I actually did it. And I just can't lose that stigma of it. That really is how I see it. It's really a very feminine, non-masculine activity at the end of the day. And I would much rather do something performance-based and get bigger, get stronger, focus on my actual performance than get caught up in something like that. It's just ultimately vanity, and I see that as a very female trait. Alright guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.